Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review, although it's late, of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 4, Episode 15. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit the notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Tisha, Kimmy, and Tiffany are meeting up for a little rock climbing and whatnot. Okay, so Kimmy is deathly afraid of heights. So she ain't with it, okay, but she did do it. I guess she got over her fears and whatnot. But I was just wondering, like, how does she travel on planes that often if she's afraid of heights? Because let me tell y'all something. I'm deathly afraid of a plane, okay? Now, I'm going to travel abroad and whatnot and get them stamps on them passports, but I'm still afraid to fly. So, I mean, I guess this is just the same thing as this, child. Because I'm going to sit there and I'm going to sit real still, honey. I don't want to hear no talking. And once I get in the air, I'm fine. But before then, oh, Lord, child, my nervous system just be shot. But anyway, that's just a side note. So after they finish that, they sit down. They're sitting down, they're talking, and she starts talking about the Atlanta trip. So she's like, did y'all hear about the trip? And they're like, yeah, we heard about it. So Tiffany goes, yeah, they went to have wine. There were women there, went to the strip club, went to the rage room. So then Tisha goes, oh, did you hear what they were raging about? Of course she did, Tisha. But let's hear it, y'all. She's like, yeah, Louis was raging about not enough sex. So Tisha goes, I was shocked when Marcel told me about that. Because I was like, Tiffany is always saying they doing it. And Kimmy was like, yeah, we had to pry y'all off the roof in Vegas. Okay, let me just say something. There are some couples that you look at and you like, ooh, I know they be getting it in, baby. And they sexy too when you look at them. But I don't want to hear nothing about no Tiffany and no Louis. Not nothing. Okay? Nothing. Moving forward. So Tiffany is like, yeah, he said I don't have time for him no more. So then Kimmy goes, I think that he's telling his truth. Kimmy, go ahead and sit this one out. Okay? Go on, sit this one out. So Tiffany claims that they're doing it here, there, and everywhere. Doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow. I represent Queen. She was raised out in Brooklyn. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back, and I had to just put a little song reference right there. Shout out to LL Fool J. Child, so they talking. And I'm like, girl, please. I'm not buying nothing that you saying, okay? I'm not buying nothing that you selling. Y'all are not doing it. Y'all, if y'all are doing it, y'all doing it in that house and on that bed, missionary style. So then Tisha drops the bomb on them about the retreat with Dr. Francis, right? So Kimmy goes, yeah, I'm down for that. Because last time Maurice saw him, I got a honeymoon. So here go Tiffany. Oh, so I'm going to get a honeymoon? Tisha said, or a baby. She said, oh, yeah, you forgot your storyline for a minute. Girl, you want a baby, remember? Remember what y'all made up? You want a baby. Girl, you don't bit more want no baby than the man in the moon, and you ain't fooling me. Baby Tiffany, I forgot she said she wanted a baby. Tiffany said, am I going to get a honeymoon? No, you're going to get what you asked for at the beginning of season 4, part 1, or whatever y'all doing breaking these seasons up. You said in the beginning of season 4 that you wanted a baby, and a baby you shall get. And child, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Anyways, they agreed to go. So they're going to concoct some plans and get these men to come. In the next scene over at Mel's house, she's trying to figure out what to wear. Honey, she's in her everyday house wig, sitting down, and she's hosting an event for an amphitheater that's opening up in Huntsville. And when I tell y'all Mel dropped that name of that amphitheater so good, if y'all don't know about the Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville, then you were not listening. They picked the perfect person to host that event, honey, because Mel let us know every 5 minutes that is the Orion Amphitheater. Okay, girl. So they're opening up an amphitheater and whatnot, and they chose Mel to host their first Sunday fun day, I'm assuming. So Van is there trying to help her choose an outfit and whatnot. And so she's like, it would be cool if the kids were going to be there, if it would have been your weekend. Well, it's not, Miss Van. Okay. It's Martell's. So we're going to stick to it just like she stuck to it when it was her week. Okay. We're not going to do that. We're not about to go back and forth and back. Now, I know some people going to say, well, he could have brought them kids or she could have brought them kids. Baby, the judge has stated your week is your week. Now, if the two of them were communicating, that's something different, but they ain't communicating, so it's his week and he ain't gonna bring them, and he gonna bring them because he want to see Mel. Now, here we go. So Mel explains to her that they aren't in that space right now because of how he's handled her in the past about their children. So her mom is like, yeah, he just needs to work on himself, because for him to be so evil, like right now in the space that he's in, he's still struggling with what he created. So until he heals that, he gonna be toxic. And that's that on that. In the next scene, Martell goes to visit Louis at his gym to talk about mail. Okay, because he ain't got nothing else to do. Last season, he was peddling the Mary Kay products out that brown box down there with Destiny. We ain't seen high nor hair of Destiny since she got into it with Stormy Weather. Now that we haven't seen Stormy and or Destiny, are they still on the show? Child. Anyway, so he comes in and Louis is hitting some balls. And he's like, yeah, so how you doing? Here go Martell. Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Yep, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, Martell, you're doing pretty good. We don't give a damn. Like, shut up. Oh, I missed y'all, child. Oh, if they don't shut up. So then he starts talking about how he was studying for his builder's license and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, I'm taking it in 2 weeks, but I'm going to have to call on the prayer warriors. Yeah, you need some prayer, and not just for that license. Catch it. So Martell is like, yeah, I've always found a way to, maneuver around when I was in school. Because Louis was like, well, that goes back to school because I wasn't a good test taker either. So maybe that's what you're going through. Now, Martell was using his good looks and getting people to do his homework. And then he saw how smart Mel was. And he was like, you know what? I'm a wife dad. Mel was doing that homework and she ain't fooling me. Moving forward. So they're talking about Louis having a family emergency, right? And so then as they're talking about the emergency, Louis was saying how he was happy that Tiffany was there to support him. So Martell goes, yeah, I got to get me a woman. Oh, Lord. Don't you have one? 2-parent household? You ain't messing with her no more? Oh, okay. Okay. So Louis is like, well, you took yourself out of that equation with that divorce. No, sir. Okay. He took himself out of that equation when he cheated and brought back a baby. Okay, that's when he took himself out of the equation. Okay, so he's like, yeah, I ain't laughing at that. I miss my marriage. So Louis was looking like, say what now? So then he gonna say, I miss marriage. Yeah, Now, you miss Mel propping you up and making you look good and doing all of the work. That's what you miss. You don't miss marriage. You miss the benefits of marriage, i.e. her having a builder's license so you don't have to do no work. A boy gone. So Louis is like, yeah, well, that's going to come back around. Martell goes, well, I'm ready now. That's my focus. I'm ready to be back married. Martell, do some work on yourself. You are not in any position to be married because when you get that next wife, you're going to cheat on her as well. Okay? So please do not try to wife anybody else up until you get your mind right. And it ain't no way on God's green earth that I would ever look at Martell. After seeing how he publicly embarrassed and berated his wife, it ain't no way. But sadly, there are some women who would love them some Martell. Ugh, child, I don't know why. So he's like, yeah, I love being married. If you loved being married that much, you would have been faithful and treated your wife with some respect and not embarrassed her all over national television. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So Louis is like, well, you just got to make sure it's the right person because they're going to be around your kids and whatnot. He's like, yeah, it's going to be tough because, I have not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 children. He really irks my nervous system. He really does. No matter how many kids you have, hotel, somebody will accept you. Okay? And you know what? It just really pisses me off because there's a double standard when it comes to women. Men can have 11 kids. They can have 15 children and probably ain't seeing or talking to none of them. Not saying that this is Martell. I'm just giving y'all an example. 15 children. Let a woman have more than 1 baby. It's a wrap. All of a sudden, ooh, she got 2 kids. How many baby daddies? Ooh, how many kids she got? But this man, or men in general, can have more than 1 baby. You know what? I think I'm going to have to make a podcast episode about that. Because it's just amazing to me, the double standard when it comes to women with kids and men with children. Well, and I'm going to say some, because not all women, have a problem finding men. Because, my cousin, she got 6 kids, child, and 6 different baby daddies, and she found a very good man that accepts all of those children. Now, see, me, I always think the killer gonna get me. So, me personally, me and my one, we shall serve the Lord. Because, baby, I am not about to get wrapped up with not nobody. Child, you can't trust people. I'm just saying. So Louis goes, well, when's the last time you spoke to Mel? Child, and what'd he say that for? He's like, yeah, she's not emailing. She ain't texting. We got 4 kids. And why is that, Martell? I am sure she has no problem communicating about the kids. But you, okay, being a narcissist, y'all make it about everything else. It ain't even got nothing to do with the kids. After you get off the phone, you be all upset. And yes, I may be projecting just a little bit, but Martel has shown and proven that he is a narcissist. And y'all don't be talking about nothing that have to do with kids. Narcissists do not know how to co-parent. They counter-parent. They don't know how to co-parent nobody. I hear things are better now, child, and they in the Maldives or wherever they at, child. Got their feet propped up, taking pictures and blaming it on Tank. They doing all kinds of things, okay, and vacationing together. I don't know if it's for the show, but the co-parenting is getting better, and I'm all for the new normal of them co-parenting those kids and getting into it as they get into it as a family unit to let the kids see that we are united. But just to be honest, I feel like he wants Mel back, and I'm hoping that she does not fall for that. And in this instance, she's protecting her peace in this moment. But now I guess they're at a better place. I just hope. And Mel, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. I have not sang your song in a while, but I hate to have to sing it if you go back over there with Martel. We want better for you. Child, don't go back over there with Hotel. He said, yeah, I sent her 1,000 emails about the kids and she ain't saying nothing. Okay, now if this is true, then she should definitely respond to Martel. But he liked to lie, so child, I don't know. So Louis is basically saying that she's using the kids to get back at Martel. Louis, pipe down, okay? You only know what Hotel is telling you. You don't know the whole story. So just please be quiet. That's how you got in trouble with Marcel. Just hush. Every time he speaks to her, he gets to taking jabs, calling her out a name. That does more harm than good. So since you just got here, pipe down. So he's like, well, I didn't do nothing to her. Her heart is just dark. So Louis was like, is she really like that? Because, I mean, you keep on saying that. He's like, yeah, you know, her friends ditch her because of who she is. Now, to be honest, I could see Mel falling out with her friends, but Martel just bitter. It's giving bitter baby daddy. Moving forward. In the next scene, Maurice walks in to Kimmy sprawled out on the bed. Her, she draped, got these suitcases on this bed. Ugh. So he's like, what is this? So she tells him about the retreat, right? He's like, I thought I got out of the marriage conferences. Well, are you still married? You are? Oh, not for long? Okay, well, then you still have to attend the marriage conferences. Oh, bald head boy. Moving forward. So she's like, I thought you liked Dr. Francis. This man gonna say, yeah, I mean, I saw him and I'm fixed now. Like, haven't you seen the change in me? Maurice, that picture changed you, not Dr. Francis. You are on your best behavior so your mess don't get out, and you ain't fooling me, okay? So Kimmy is like, you know, I think people need a recharge, especially in marriage. So Maurice goes, I don't like to take on other people's problems, and when we go, it's not going to be all happy. It's going to be about problems. Of course it is, because no marriage is perfect, even though you want to pretend that yours is. It's time for your things to be exposed, which is really what you worried about. You skated by on that boys trip talking about MJ. Talking about, I just want him to get up out the bed so I don't have to wake him up. I ain't his alarm clock. I had to walk to school in the snow with no shoes on. So now all of a sudden, since you got to go sit and talk about your marriage, boy, be quiet. I ain't got time to be playing with you. I really don't. He's like, well, do you think our relationship is good or bad right now? She's like, I think that there could be, you know, some improvement. Everyone can use counseling. And of course, he doesn't agree. So then she asked if there's anything that she could improve on. He was like, yeah, sex every day. Maurice, please. So she thinks it's excessive, and it is. It's excessive and unrealistic for working people, especially because she was working during the panini and she's a nurse. I'm not about to be under that type of mental stress and strain all day. My life is basically hanging in the balance every time I leave the door, and then you want me to come home and pop it for pimp? Boy, please. No matter how much you desire your partner, there's going to come a day where you ain't gonna want to do it. You're not gonna want to get into it as you get into it, no matter how much zhuzh they put on. Baby, no matter how much zhuzh, you ain't gonna want to do it. Also, it's amazing how you got so much time and energy this season. I just find this so amazing. So she's like, well, even your brother said it was excessive. He's like, well, they ain't in my marriage. Thank God. She feels like men never get enough. She said, like, even now, they'll have sex at 6 and then he's ready again at 10. And then he get mad when she don't want to do it at 10. Maurice, you need to cut it out. But see, I knew you was about that life when they said you had sex with 6 women in one day over in Vegas last year. Don't think I forgot. So then he makes this dumb analogy and compares it to eating. He's like, what day goes by where you're like, I just don't want to eat today? Well, if you really want to know, some days I don't want to eat. Some days I have no taste for anything. Some days I'm doing intermittent fasting. So, boy, please. And you eat to live. We need food. It's a necessity. Sex is not. Your point is invalid. And if I want to get it popping, I know how to take care of that. So I don't want to hear that. You ain't making no sense. None. Moving forward. Maurice is a jackass. He is. He gonna say, well, to get me to go on this, okay, to get me to go on this trip, let's just say you'll give it to me twice a day while we're there. Okay, I knew Maurice was this dude. If you've just started to listen to me, when I first started doing reviews, I called this behavior. But because the people didn't see Kimmy as a Tisha 2.0, baby, they let me have it in them comments. Maurice is nothing like Marcel. Yes, he is. And I'm so happy to be vindicated. Moving forward. She's like, no, this conversation is basically going nowhere because it ain't happening. She's like, I can commit to every day. She just gave you every day. Every day. You not going to be there, but maybe 2 days max. 2 times is not enough for you? Are y'all going to ever come out the room? Anyway, so then he starts trying to manipulate her into agreeing, saying that she doesn't want to agree to do something that will make him happy. But what about her, Maurice? Baby, he is a Scott through and through. Do y'all hear me? I want to see their dad. That's who I want to see. Like, who is responsible for this? I really want to know, like, what is going on? So then Kimmy goes, you just said you wanted it every day. Then I agreed to every day. And now there's still a problem because I don't want to do it twice a day. Like, what is happening? You're going to make the trip bad. He was like, no, I'm not. He said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I will go because you want me to go. So now it's awkward. Then he gets up and says, well, all right. I mean, my wife is unwilling to do things that may or may not make our marriage better. Kimmy, you in danger, girl. You are in danger. He just did that thing where people say, you know what? Don't worry about it. Basically implying, look, I warned you. I asked you. You said no. So if I get it elsewhere, I don't want to hear it. Maurice is just like his brother. He might be a little worse than Marcel. He just masked it by wearing suits. And because people like Kimmy, they've overlooked it. But baby, he ain't never fooled me. Not never. And that was disgusting behavior to sit down here and gaslight your wife and try to manipulate her into giving you sex multiple times a day when she agreed to every day. And that ain't even feasible, honey, because you're not touching me on the 5 days that Flo is visiting. Boy, goodbye. In the next scene over at the Uh-Ohs, Tiffany hands Louis this pint-sized suitcase. Okay, pause. Okay, because I forgot to mention it. If y'all, and I do mean all y'all, don't get these nasty suitcases off this bed with all the travel and airport germs, I'm going to lose my mind. Get these nasty suitcases off of this bed. So she gonna toss him this little bag. This is funny to me. She tossed him this little bag and said, I thought you liked to pack light. What are you packing in that suitcase? His drawers? Girl. So then Louis gonna say, what I'm gonna pack in here? A jacket? Louis said, what I'm gonna pack in here? A jacket? Honey, that's what I want to know. Tiffany, you wrong for that, honey. If you don't own luggage, just say that. Okay? That's what you really need to say. You can call Amazon. They can get you something down there the next day. Child, y'all ain't got but one suitcase and you trying to hand him the one for your kids. Ooh, this is a fool. So she's telling Louis that she's gonna have to leave early for work. And he's like, you mean both of us? I mean, because if we come together, we should leave together. I think she meant just her. Tiffany, let me find out you ain't got no work and you just trying to get back to the house and leave Louis down at the retreat to fend for himself. Because something ain't right about you. I'm watching you. He's like, yeah, well, maybe we can get Dr. Francis to help us, with the action in the bed. She's like, well, there's action happening in the bed. We're packing. Well, according to you, Tiffany, there's action happening in the car, on a bus, on a train, in a plane. There's action happening. Like, I don't have time for this, okay? Y'all are trying to figure out how to up your game when it comes to this reality TV stuff, because just last season, y'all were absolutely perfect. I'm not buying it. Now everybody having sex problems. You want a baby, but ain't doing the sexuals. You forgot you wanted the baby because you really want a honeymoon. Girl, go on, honey. Just go to the retreat. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tisha is at home with Marceau, and he walks in and she's packing. He's like, oh, where you going? Baby, he don't care nothing about where Tisha going. Oh, honey, he just happy she packing, Lord. Because if my man walk in and be like, where you going? I want him to be like, why are you packing a bag? Honey, I want a little bit of panic. Marceau walked in like, you figure it go somewhere? Oh, okay, cool. Call me when you get there. She's like, no, you mean us? Okay, we're going on a weekend getaway. So Tisha and Marcel are talking, right? But all I can think of is they have been living in this teenagey space for 3 years. Why are y'all steady living in this little bitto house? How long is Scott Manor gonna take? It's giving the Comeback Group. It's giving the 40 Acres. It's giving Chateau Cheray. It's giving Never Neverland. Are y'all working on it? Is it happening? What's going on with Scott Manor? Also, Tisha and Marcel, I know y'all want to show the real, okay, because this is reality TV, but please clean up this room. Please clean up this room. And that's the same with Tiffany and Louis. They were sitting in front of a bag of trash or some stuffed animals or something they were doing, child. And I was looking and I couldn't focus because I was looking at the back of Tiffany and it looked like they was running the daycare out the house. I don't know what y'all are doing. The only house that was clean was Kimmy's. Clean them houses up. And Mel's, her house was clean as well. Clean that house up. Clean it up. So she tells him they're going to Nashville. And Marcel was like, oh, okay, I can do that. So he telling her everything that they got in Nashville. She's like, no. It's just for us, 6 couples, and we gonna be hanging out. So he goes, whose idea was this? She said, oh, it was mine. So in the confessional, she gonna say, you know, what I've learned as a wife, especially with Marceau, is that you gotta use what you got to get what you want. Child, Tisha got this blonde wig on, and all of a sudden she Ronnie from the Players Club. Tisha, calm down, girl. Anyway. So she tells him what she told Kimmy, and in the confessional, he's like, this isn't wife swap, is it? She's like, no, it's not that kind of party. He's like, who's going? She said, Scott 1.0, Scott 2.0, and the uh-ohs. He gonna say, yeah, no swap happening in there. Let me tell y'all something. I know people can't stand Marceau, but Marceau funny as hell. I mean, he is funny. He adds the comedic relief to this show. Him and them teeth, oh, they funny to me. So she's telling him who's going. He don't think the uh-oh's gonna be a good time. I don't either. He's like, well, maybe they cool under all that judgment, because I mean, you know, then this man gonna say, y'all, listen. He said, yeah, because on the trip, Louis wasn't judgmental at all. He was like Pinocchio. He turned into a real boy. Okay, he gonna bust my stitches. I don't have time for this. Marceau, shut up. I cannot be doing all that hollering and stuff. Oh, child. Ooh, Marcel, get lost. So he's like, well, can we bring Martel just to spice it up? She was like, no, he's not a couple. And please leave Hotel at the house. Leave him now. He's like, nah, I mean, I've just never been on a trip. I don't know what a trip is like without fighting. Maybe me and Reese can get to fighting. She was like, no, we don't need any fighting, Marcel. Shut up. Maurice like a little sprinkle of toxicity. Even he knows Tiffany and Louis don't make good TV. Moving forward. In the next scene, it's the day of Mel's hosting gig, and she's at the Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville, Alabama, getting her glam. And while she's doing that, they show the parking lot, and Martell and the kids are arriving. So they come out to get ready to host. Baby, Mel is screeching in this mic. Oh, my God. Oh, child, the way she was hollering in that mic. I was like, girl, turn your mic down. What is happening? It was a mess. And I know Mel seen them kids, okay? And she ain't fooling me. I know you seen them kids and Martell in that stand. It wasn't nobody out there. Wasn't nobody. It was real sporadic like. And I'm going to just say this. Even though I can't stand my soon-to-be ex, I can pick him out in a crowd of 1 million people. You know your ex when you see that ex. So I just really wasn't buying this scene. But, child, we're going to go with it. So she goes to the back, and here come Martell and the kids. And she was like, you know, in her confessional, I was happy to see the babies, but I'm shocked to see Martell because, you know, we ain't cool like that. So then Miss Van takes the kids to get some, you know, some lemonade and some water and whatnot, and she leaves the 2 of them alone. It's awkward AF. They make a little small talk. I'm sure, you know, Martell happy as hell, honey, because he ain't been this close to Mel in I don't know how long. And she's like, oh, okay, well, thanks for bringing them. He goes, of course, you know, I had to bring them to support their mom on her big day. It was nice of him, but I don't trust Martell. Okay, I don't trust him. I feel like he did that, number 1, to get close to Mel. Number 2, to have something to throw in her face later. Yeah, I brought the kids to go come to your event, and you didn't even bring the kids to come to my event. I don't trust Martell. It's an ulterior motive somewhere. He ain't fooling me. It was nice. I'm happy that the babies got to see their mom at the Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm going to keep on plugging it, Mel. I got you. But I don't trust Martell. I just don't. And child, they're playing this music and this package of them as a couple. Carlos, no thank you. Let Mel soar and let Martel suffer. Okay, you caused this chaotic mess and this breakup, so now you got to sit in it. Okay, these are the consequences of your actions. I'm not that forgiving. Maybe it's just me. Because after you called me a hoe, and y'all know I'm always run it back one time for the one time, because I don't appreciate him calling the mother of his kids that on national TV. After you did that and you embarrassed me and you brought a baby home in the middle of a panorama, no. Child, this was a whole fool. And now we got to wait until September 10th for them to come back. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the mid-season finale. I am so happy to have a break. This season has been so chaotic. There was a whole bunch of fussing and arguing and fighting all up and through the comments, child. So much so I almost had to turn them off sometime. Child, I'm so happy to get a break. But I will catch y'all in the next review. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.